version of .NET was released, and especially right. Let's start today's session. Right. So good evening to everybody. So this is the first session of .NET Core package course. So in this session, I'm going to give complete information related to .NET Core, and especially what is .NET Core and .NET Framework. What is the main difference between .NET Framework and .NET Core Framework? And in .NET Core package, what subject I'm going to cover, I'll discuss clearly. So this session is completely belongs to .NET Core. First of all, you should understand what is .NET. Okay. So later we will discuss in this total .NET package, what subject I'm going to cover. Okay. So .NET is the product of Microsoft. Yes, it is the product of Microsoft. Okay. .NET was announced by Bill Gates in the year of 2000. .NET is the product of Microsoft. .NET was announced by Bill Gates in the year of 2000. Okay. Yeah. .NET is the product of Microsoft. .NET was announced by Bill Gates in the year of 2000. The first version of .NET, the first version of .NET was released in the year of 2002. So it is a product of Microsoft. It's announced by Bill Gates in the year of 2000. The first version of .NET was released in the year of 2002. So .NET is a framework tool. What is .NET mean? It is a framework tool. Yes. .NET is a framework tool. So Microsoft people providing us .NET framework tool to develop the different types of applications. By using this .NET framework tool, we are going to design and develop different types of application. Okay. So from 2002, okay, I said that .NET was released into the market in the year of 2002. It's a framework tool. From 2002 to 2015. So .NET framework tool, it's completely platform dependent, which completely support on Windows operating system. From 2002 to 2015, .NET completely platform dependent style. That means .NET is a framework tool. I said this framework allows us to write the application code which can be run on only platform dependent style. Platform dependent style is run on only operating system, which is to run operating system, only Windows operating system. Okay. So that's what we can say from 2002 to 2015, .NET framework completely platform dependent style, which will run only on Windows operating system. From 2016 to date, 2025 till date, .NET is completely core platform. That means .NET Core they released. Microsoft announced .NET Core in that of 2016, the first version available in the market 2016 till 2025 till now. we are using .NET Core framework, which will make completely platform independent style. Platform independent style, which can run on all operating systems, including Windows, Unix, Linux, and so on. Other operating systems also possible. That is platform independent style. So there are both scenarios are there. Completely you can .NET framework. .NET framework, if it will makes completely platform dependent, which will run the applications on only Windows operating system. If you go .NET Core framework, platform independent style, which will run on it, including Windows, Linux, okay, all the operating system possible. So our main complete solutions .NET Core only. But most of the students and companies people learn .NET Core makes only .NET application code platform independent style, which will run on any operating system. So that's what completely .NET Core versions I'm going to. No matter internet core, what subjects I'm going to cover, all the subjects I'm going to teach is on core platform only. But first, at the beginning or coding part, I'll show you how to write coding in framework style as well as .NET code style. I'll include so that you will get clarity. Only one. But application building and coding styles and same almost .NET as .framework. Not much more differences. Core means from independent style, framework means from dependent style. .NET, the last version of .NET in the year of 2002, from 2020 in Microsoft, they announced framework libraries which makes up dependent style. From 2025 till today, using .NET Core platform dependent style. Okay, but here there are so many .NET framework versions and courses also there. Don't class complete versions and everything. If you must in the .NET Core page. So I'm going to cover the subjects. First subject is C# .NET. You should aware subject you are going to learn completely. First subject is .NET. Subject is ASP.NET Core. Third is ASP.NET Core MVC. Model, view, role. And fourth was ASP Core. ASP.NET Core. Entity Framework. Entity Frame. This time was ASP.NET Core Web API. ASP.NET Core Web API. And sixth one is SQL Server. This is the database tool. SQL Server, soft SQL Server also we can call it as. These are the 6 I'm going to in .NET package course. ADO.NET is in the middle of C#.NET we will be covered. Database communication purpose is ADO.NET also there, but also I'm going to cover in C#.NET point of view. First of all, you should understand what are these and each subject person. C#.NET, data core, MVC, entity framework, web API, and SQL Server. So this is completely .NET Core package. Even after completion of this demotion, my team will send a syllabus copy, complete content regarding this programming and frameworks and database, everything. Okay. First, let me discuss what is C#.NET. So listen, this is most important in complete and .NET package, because if you want to learn ASP.NET Core and MVC, Entity Framework, Web API, first of all, you should have the strong knowledge of C#.NET. So without having knowledge of .NET, you cannot go with ASP.NET Core and MVC, Entity Framework, and Web API. Okay, that's what my complete focus on first 45 working days to 2 months completely on C#. Once you will become good at C#.NET, using C#.NET, we can have applications and applications using ASP.NET Core with MVC standard and Entity Framework, Web API, and also with the database. Okay, so that's the main thing. So let me talk about first programming, that is C# language. So what is C#.NET? Sorry, C#.NET. C#.NET is a programming language. Yes, in every development, compulsory programming language part is there. C# programming language, which is used to write coding application development. Coding part application development. Yes. C#.NET is a programming language used to write coding part for application development. So I had a .NET to write logic and writing code purpose, use language called C#.NET. It's a programming language. In every application, programming language part there. Without having knowledge, application. That is one of the languages C#.NET. Like a Microsoft framework programming languages. Microsoft .NET framework provides or offers to the developers to use different types of languages like C#, VB, J#, F#, script, C++, .NET, and many of the languages. But why we're choosing C#.NET means it is one of the most popular and famous .NET programming languages among them. So that's why we are going to complete code C#.NET standards only. In real time, maximum 90+% of the people are using C#.NET coding to fill a requirement in the .NET Core. That's what we choose. C#.NET is a programming language. Okay, fine. But only programming is through, we cannot do much more things. So as I said that programming lies through, we can write some logic part or application coding part, but we can fulfill the complete websites or complete application. Suppose main intention is in real time to build some website or applications. So that's the reason. So for building building applications and website purpose, we use ASP.NET Core. Okay. So what is ASP.NET? First of all, ASP stands for Active Server Page. ASP means Active Server Page. So ASP.NET is an application development framework. ASP.NET Core is application development framework. So that means using ASP.NET Core framework, we are going to means websites. So use ASP.NET framework or ASP.NET Core framework. Use ASP.NET Core framework. We can build web applications. So web application means what? Very simple. The application which will provide the services over the web is called web application. The application which will provide the services over the web is called applications. Yes, in generally we are getting lot of services on applications like Flipkart, Amazon, and many banking applications. We are getting services. So the services which are providing to the customers or clients through website or through web or internet is called web application. Using .NET or .NET Core framework to build web application, we use called ASP.Core framework. ASP stands for Active Server Page. ASP is also called as server-side technology. Technology means completely building web applications possible. Use ASP.Core. Fine, but nowadays all are used. Not only I'm speaking about .NET development, even in Java development as Python full stack development, people are using for web application development one architecture or design pattern that is called MVC. MVC is what? Model View Control. So even in to build a web application, we are following an architectural pattern that is called MVC architectural pattern, model control. So that's the reason even ASP.NET Core, after we are going to cover complete logic, complete web application, ASP.NET Core MVC model only. Okay. So what is MVC? MVC is nothing but it is a three-layer architecture. That means model, M for model. Model represents what you know, database access layer, we can say. V for view. V is nothing but business access layer. Business access layer. C for controller. Sorry, V for presentation layer actually. So presentation layer it is. Presentation layer. C for control that is completely involved here. That means it is called as business access layer. Business access layer. So in ASP.Core MVC, following in web application do all that model view control logic. That means MVC pattern. So M stands for model. It's considered as database access layer. Completely database related stuff going into model access layer. Using the presentation layer, what we are going to see, end user accessing the website for the first time when we visit website. So we are going to see some design screen that is called presentation layer. That purpose we use view. And control means MVC. C for controller or control. That controller is business access layer. Means complete large part we are going to write in controller access layer. So model database access layer purpose, we are going to use SQL server. We will use SQL microSQL server. To start ASP.NET web application development, we must get clarity about a programming language that is C#.NET as a server. After completion of these two subjects only, we will be starting core and we see entity framework and so on, all other frameworks. So this is the presentation layer. So UI technologies. In view logic, we are going to learn UI technologies. In our curriculum, we are going to discuss UI technologies basics also. That means HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and Bootstrap. These UI technologies also I am going to cover complete basics of ASP.NET web application development. Because ASP.NET application development, a person should have the knowledge on designing as well as database also. So for database purpose, we are going to cover SQL Server, and design purpose, we are going to use UI technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery Bootstrap. Okay, so business layer is completely C# relevant code is there already. We focus first initially of C#.NET only, no? So that's what obviously we get a strong knowledge on C#. So this is complete scenario of a implementation. The main focus is completely web application development. To develop web applications in the .NET platform, you must have the knowledge on the programming language, that is C#, and base knowledge, SQL Server. Complete design is required, that is UI like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery. And using all, we are going to develop one website or application implementation using ASP.NET Core MVC. But in the part of ASP.NET Core MVC web application development, we also introduce entity framework. What is the use of entity framework? So again, because you're saying ASP.NET Core and MVC is used to develop web applications. But what is ASP.NET Core entity framework role? ASP.NET framework, entity framework role is what? What is entity framework? Entity framework is not, without our complete queries. That means queries, we are going to operations completely. Yes, there's all kind of things are there. Auto-generated SQL statements possible in SQL Core framework. So if you want to generate database code, then use ASP.NET Core Entity Framework. So this is complete related to ASP.NET Core platform only. So Entity Framework is used to complete SQL hitting where's a database or getting SQL segment. So the object will map all two kind of things there. So this is ORM. ORM is object relational mapper. See, in traditional ASP.NET or class framework, as a programs, we are going to write some SQL events, do some operations against database, like inserting records purpose we write query, update purpose we write update query, deleting purpose we write delete queries. But when it's a core entry framework, it will have an object relational mapper tool, ORM. It is object relational mapper. So using this object relational mapper tool, .NET to work completely with relational data without having write statements. Directly they can produce their SQL query. That means for that they need to write some .NET logic code, and after that they need to make migrations and make it automatically relevant SQL Server tables and database will be created. We need not to write SQL statements directly while working with ASP.NET Entity Framework. So this is the advantage actually. In previously normal plain old ASP.NET technologies, generally programmers write SQL statements. Retrieve the purpose they select from table. For inserting purpose they used to write insert queries. String purpose they used to have queries. When it comes to ASP.NET Entity Framework, it is like ORM tool. ORM is nothing but object-relational mapper. With the logic, this ORM tool typically produces statements. Using SQL, we can do database relational operations. This is ASP.NET Entity Framework. So it is also part of a web development .NET pack. What about ASP.NET Core using all C#.NET program language for coding purpose, and SQL are like database related stuff, and presentation layer using design. We build successfully on ASP.NET web applications. Right, ASP.NET application ready with us. But after ready with ASP.NET web applications, what is the need to use ASP.NET Core Web API? So what is this Web API actually? Okay, so what is an API? We'll discuss. So it's really important. So after building web applications without API, so there is no meaning to build a web application like development. In development, I should learn Core Web API, because after developing ASP.NET website, if you want to make your ASP.NET web application communicate with other application, compulsory what you need for generating APIs for ASP.NET Core web applications, we use ASP.NET Core APIs. So what is API means? API stands for, first of all, API stands for application programming interface. Application programming interface. Yes. So API stands for programming interface in web development. Even full stack development use API. Java developer use service web API. But .NET programs, .NET stack development out API. So application programming interface. What is exactly means? API is a software tool. API is a software tool which enables our ASP.NET web application, which enables our ASP.NET web application communicate with other applications. Yes, compulsory in real time scenario. Application must interact, communicate with other application, and then we can make that transaction. I'll tell you one quick example. Nowadays, and mobile applications. In our mobile applications, we are going to use so many applications. Like for example, Swiggy app can be used to making some food order. Okay, after placing the food order, you need to make the payment. So for that making payment purpose, application must complete our converting application. The request and response takes place in between successfully, then only our task will be finished over web. That's what. So if your application, your application, what will be the play important role means API play the important role. So that's what I'm saying. We can develop ASP.NET Core web applications, okay, but how that application is communicating or interacting with other applications. For that, we need to generate APIs. For generating APIs, we should learn what technology web API framework. This is ASP related framework only. Say ASP.NET Core web API. Web is another able to generate APIs. API stands for programming interface. So it's a software tool which enables our ASP.NET web application to communicate with other applications. So compulsory mandatory. So because nowadays many applications without making request and getting us from the other applications not fulfill the transactions, that's what's mandatory to learn to have idea about web API is most important in real-time web application development. So finally, I'm going to discuss about Microsoft SQL Server. See, sir, SQL Server is completely database related tool. In the dot com, every time while working with C#.NET as ASP.NET web application, compulsory focus is to database. So because database is the one of the main important resource in every technology learning, because you have the database knowledge in database. In SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, can be MongoDB, it can be what we can say PostgreSQL or SQLite, any database. But why we are specifically introduce or increased is .com SQL Server set of Microsoft. Most of the developers when Microsoft Server to deal with the database options. Suppose the full stack Java developer, for example, I believe Java will prefer Oracle. Suppose Oracle Server. Python web developers ultimately they recommend use Microsoft. So it depends on combination actually, but it doesn't make sense. Connected with MySQL.NET, yes, we connect with Oracle. So using .NET, we can take it with any database like MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, or PostgreSQL, and everything. It's possible, sir, without it all. But majority of the people, just because of SQL Server Microsoft product, because it's MS SQL Server, Microsoft related. So all the applications are recommend to use SQL Server only in the real time. That's why we prefer to learn SQL Server. It's completely database related stuff. We need to store and manage the data in our application development. We need to store customer data or manage the issue of the database knowledge. In interview, they ask the database related questions also. For that, you must have to learn SQL Server. So Microsoft Server. So this is split subjects with .NET Core. .NET is framework. This framework we are a lot of subjects like program called .NET, ASP.NET Core is the technology framework. This framework through we can build complete web applications with MVC pattern. We are going to build MVC is module controller. Model is related for we are going to use as a subject. We is implementation layer that we are going to learn UI technologies. Yes, obviously, for a few sessions, I'm going to conduct before going to development. We will focus on HTML, Bootstrap basics also. A controller means purpose C# language. We are going to use an entity framework is a one tool. You try raw statements. We can write .NET logic and make them database queries and database logics. And web API is used to build APIs, communicate ASP.NET web application to other applications, which makes sense in real time. SQL Server is another subject related database to store and manage the data. So you will have a strong knowledge .NET package course. SQL Server database knowledge you get, means Durga knowledge you get, and ASP.NET web application development knowledge also you get. So once after completion of .NET Core course, you can keep in your .NET developer. So in the programming like C#.NET and ASP.NET MVC and entity framework web API SQL Server is database tool. You will get a opportunity in a job for sure. So this is the basic information which I am passing. But it is completely product of Microsoft. .NET version of there of 2002. But when it comes to from 2000 to 2015, there were released many versions of .NET framework only, which makes platform dependent style. From depend market depend, Microsoft added that from 2016 to 2020, they released versions means dependent. So already from version of our versions, it was completely just because of that only Microsoft announced platform independent style pattern 2016 to 2025. So .NET is equal to Java, which is platform independent, which can run on any platform without fail. Okay. So this complete basic section which I discussed today. In the tomorrow session, we'll discuss what is .NET framework exactly, what is .NET Core framework, what versions are there, .NET framework version 2022, 2002 to 2015, and core versions frameworks are 16 to 2025. Which version I'm going to cover like the context of C.NET, ASP.NET, I'm going to console. I will disclose complete information in the tomorrow session. Versions of .NET framework, versions of .NET Core versions, and after start .NET induction part like framework versions, execution M will in detail. And complete coding. I'm going to use complete coding plus. I'm going to use Visual Studio 2022 editor tool. That is introduction I'll give. So this session. So I hope what subject I'm going to cover this .NET Core. And the duration of complete .NET Core course is the minimum 4 months, maximum 2.5 months. Because I'm going to cover in this 4.5 months duration C# ASP.NET Entity Web API and server. But somebody looking for only C#, for example, if your requirement is only C# programming language, duration of only C# program is 5 months to 50 days. So created documentation, and every day session is going to be recorded. Even this session also now. So recorded videos upload your Google Drive. That video lectures are on daily basis of completion of session at Google Drive. That is something live access. Along with complete PDF material and a clear picture with every discuss clearly, logically, and that same record I'll upload in your Google Drive. So that is from so today just a basic demonstration we complete what I discussed. What's it's your turn. If you have any question related to this session, you can please feel free to ask. I'll clarify doubts. From tomorrow on, we will complete. So C# complete for C# only after completion of two documents. Because must and should have the knowledge of C# that only can get the clarity about ASP.NET. Yes, ADO.NET is set up. So purely this completely depends. So C#.NET with ADO.NET, especially for communicating with database. In C# orientation, ASP.NET core orientation, we will go for a lot of MVC are there. Related file. ADO.NET, you have to pass raw statements directly. Framework what without Pascal statements with the help of ORM using C#.NET, we generate this. That is the main difference. We'll come to any questions regarding the session, please go it. Any questions? So I'm ready to clarify. Please speak loud.
Is there a difference between C# and C#.NET?
No, it's the same. C#.NET is a programming language.
Okay.
It's a .NET language.
And C# or
Same. Not a difference. C# and VB and J# and F# and Ruby and Windows PowerShell. These are the different languages. But in that we are choosing C#. It's a language which is most commonly used language in real-time web application development for coding purpose. That's what we are going to learn C# at all.
API means REST API.
Exactly. Same
Okay.
as RESTful API. Java people, how they use RESTful services. So same web service kind of thing we are going to use in web API .NET.
In the application, they write unit testing, right? That we do.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
With C#.
Okay.
RT will send complete course content with regard of C# and .NET and what I'm going to cover along with this video lecture link. If that complete link, please go through that. You will get clarity. Questions apart from this, anybody?
So here, actually, I'm working on the .NET course now about SP.NET WP. With very positive on these courses.
No, at this moment, by this schedule, so all working for page. That's what focus is in C# to 45 days to 50 days focusing. But you have an option to enroll .NET Core only if you need. Why? Because already for my previous batches, which I started 2-3 months back, 7 p.m. and 8 batches are going. So they are ready to their ASP.NET Core MVC development very soon. After 15, we'll announce you 8 p.m. that you can enroll for that ASP.NET Core MVC. Because for them, I have SQL Server as well as C#. They are ready to develop web application with ASP.NET Core. So, but make sure that you have the strong knowledge on C# coding as SQL Server.
Yeah, sure.
I'll then you learn with ASP.MVC. Otherwise, you will be a bit stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And WP also will cover that.
That means the batch is completely ASP.MVC entity framework web API all package.
Yeah.
For this sites are ASP.C#.SQL Server mandatory.
Okay. And what will be the timing? How will be?
I'm not sure about that batch because they're still in the sales learning process. We completed recently C#.NET of the portion of completed server. Once SQL Server advanced topics once completed them, they are ready to be starts with their ASP. We also so whenever the separate batch with our team will intimate you. Obviously, you can feel free to send more questions again.
Okay.
Yeah.
They will contact us. We don't need to contact them, right?
Yes. Mostly you are joined with your mail ID folder, no? So our team will intimate you once schedule the batch.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Thank you.
Because the process of learning should be orderly. So if you are and you're .core or .NET learn, so obviously I like to start with C#.NET and after ASL server, then after ASP.NET. This is the order. Yeah. So thanks for attending this demo lecture. I hope you understand the each and every subject purpose I explained. That's it in the .NET Core framework versions. And tomorrow we'll continue from here onwards. at least a minimum 3 to 4 demos you try to attend regularly so that you will get clarity. After that, you can decide. Have a nice time. See you tomorrow. Again, use the same link and same time 6 p.m. Take 2 minutes. Yeah. Let's start today's session. This is the lecture of .NET Core. So yesterday we just we take this in basic in related to our core. So what is .NET? It is a product of Microsoft. .NET it's in 2000. First version of .NET released in 2002. So what is a framework tool? Wait, 2022 .NET framework. It is component which will account of this term. Microsoft release .NET Core versions from 2016 on, which makes platform independent. So .NET application can run operating systems. To be aware, so in .NET Core package, doing is all subjects like C.NET, ASP.NET Core, .NET MVC, and .NET Entity Framework, Web and SQL Server. C# programming language, which is used to code for the application. ASP stands for Active Stage. It is a web application development framework. In .NET to build applications, also need to use a framework called .NET ASP.NET framework. So the application which we is called web application. These applications we are going to do MVC architecture. In MVC architecture, model means database access layer. For this, we have to learn terms, visualization layer. This is completely design of the web page. For this, we're going to learn basics of UI technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, means controller action methods. That action methods being using program language called C#.NET, which is completely business access layer. And ASP.NET Core framework also there. It is an ORM tool, relation mapper tool. Without passing SQL statements, we will generate SQL statements completely. Database creation, table creation by using one tool only. We use entity framework. And after development of ASP.NET web applications, it's a compulsory API required. API stands for programming interface. API generating purpose, we're going to ASP.NET Core Web API. It is another subject. So it is a software tool. It are ASP applications to communicate with other applications. So this is web API. We can create APIs for our web applications. SQL Server is there. This is we are going to teach this database related. So data and manage the data. So in our web application, for the SQL Service data. So SQL, ASP.NET Core Entity Framework, MVC, and Core, ASP.NET Core, C#.NET language. These are subject related to .NET Core. So basic information which I discussed in the last lecture. And for new I strongly recommend my last session which I cut after this lecture. Our team will send you the study session. You can go through it. Just basic information I discussed. I said that .NET is a framework tool. Okay. So framework actually. What is framework? Framework means see framework is about what you know. Framework is a collection of built-in libraries. Built-in libraries. It's a collection of Microsoft providing .NET framework to the developers to build apps by using built-in libraries. Framework is nothing but collection of built-in libraries. Using these built-in libraries to develop .NET applications. Yes, using .NET applications we can build. What kind of applications we can build in today's session only. So framework is nothing but it's a collection of built-in class libraries. The moment we start framework in our system, or else core framework, any framework if you install, so all the libraries will be available. Using the libraries, we can solve fighting world. That is the meaning actually. Framework is built-in libraries. Fine. Now I said .NET in the year of 2002. First version of .NET was released in 2002. From 2002 to 15, what is there? Only .NET was there. From 2016 to 2045, what is there? .NET Core is there, which means platform independent style. .NET framework means platform dependent style. As I said, dependent means we can only on those operating system just because of .NET is a product of Microsoft as well as product of, but depends on market management. Microsoft .NET version from 16 to 2025, the platform independent style, same like Java. Once we develop .NET application using core prompt, it can run on some Windows. Here I'm trying to discuss today .NET framework version and respective editor versions I'm going to discuss. Then later I'll try to include all the core versions also, so that I'll discuss which version I am going to teach in our session, like .NET core version what is, framework version what is, Visual Studio version what is. And even when it comes to C# introduction start, okay, I'll discuss C# version also. C# also having so many versions like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Currently 12th version is running. So I'm going to complete C# 12 version only, which is here I'm mentioning .NET framework version. At the same time, the editor tool versions. What is editor tool? Editor tool is nothing but software tool. We can write .NET application code and execute. The editor tool is what you know, ultimately Visual Studio editor. Yes, Visual Studio. This is our editor. So this software is enough landing or .NET application, database, MVC, framework, web, everywhere to write with using Visual Studio editor only. So first .NET version is 1.0 framework. At that time, Microsoft released only VS means Visual Studio only. Later, it released 1.1. At that time, Microsoft announced Visual Studio 2003. 2.0 Visual Studio 2005. Visual Studio 2005. These are editor versions. So what versions are there from the beginning? You must know that which is the current version and which version I'm going to cover in our class also. 2000 time of frame 2.0 has not released in Visual Studio not applicable. And 3.5 number 3.5 at that time Microsoft Visual Studio 2.08. Next 4.0 Microsoft at the time Visual Studio. Then 4.5 Visual Studio 2012 VS 21. 4.6 Visual Studio 2015. 4.7 okay. Next 4.7.2 as well as 4.7.2 both. Visual Studio 2019. Now, in the framework point of view, Microsoft .NET is what you know. This is 4.8 only. Still, company people or some companies are using 4.8 Visual Studio 2022. This is our editor. Even in our class, so once I start, but I'm going to use this editor tool only, Visual Studio 2022, sir, which is .framework 4.8. But I'm showing just one small we'll discuss with the .NET framework and Visual Studio 2022 because our main focus is not framework. Our main focus is the core versions. That means core software through I'm going to explain. Makes platform independent because the demand is completely everybody is asking core platform. Okay, that's what I'm going to talk all the topics with core platform only. But why I'm writing .NET framework versions and editor tool just to know that the last or latest version of .NET framework. Now .NET core versions. Yes, I'm going to write here .NET core versions. As I said that Microsoft core version 20 year on like yours. But even though you make 16 months, you are saying version released, but 2016 months again, .NET framework also released. This is the last version released framework. Who wants to develop the .NET application using .NET framework, they release .NET framework versions also. The versions what? In which year they released? .NET Core 1.0 in the year of 2016 released. Next .NET Core 2.0 they released in the year of 2018. These are the year of release. Next .NET Core 3.0 they released in the year of 2019. .NET Core 3.1 same. This was in the year of 2019 updated version. .NET Core 5.0 directly in the year of 2020. Okay. The next .NET Core. .NET Core is also called as .NET. Actually, to 3.1 people used to call it as .NET Core 1.0, .NET Core 2.0, .NET Core 3.0 like that only. But once of 3.1, so Microsoft released no core versions, like only they used to call it as .NET 5, .NET 6, .NET 7, .NET 8. I'm going to teach currently .NET 8, Core 8.0 version. So in the point I'm speaking. So P21, this is .NET Core 6.0 version. .NET Core 7.0, released in the year 2023. The Core 8.0 is our main target in our class sessions. I'm going to conduct with .NET Core 8.0. Or else this is also called as .NET 8. .NET Core 8.0 or else you can call it as .NET 8 I'm saying. So Microsoft generally used to call it as .NET 6, .NET 7, .NET 8. We are in .NET 8, that's it. So before they used to call it as core versions only. But it's also core platform, but we have to put as 8 only. So you're going like .NET 8 completely in these lectures. Okay, so Core 8.0 version Visual Studio 2022. I'm the latest editor tool. This editor tool only I'm going to explain complete coding. Only this editor tool is enough to install. I'll tell you how to install and where we have to download it. So this software is required. That's .NET we can manage. See are the .NET versions. Even C# .NET version also the language. C# .NET version is 12.0. This version I'm going to cover in our session. C# .NET is latest version. Okay. When it comes to C# .NET introduction, I'll give you complete version history of C# .NET also. As of now, the latest .NET framework version is 4.8. The latest core version is .NET Core 8.0. That means .NET 8. And the latest Visual Studio editor is what? Visual Studio 2022. So these are the framework and core versions and editor versions clearly. Okay, fine. When it comes to main, so this is the basic introduction. Let's start the main introduction .NET. So we are using C# .NET is a main language. Okay, so C# is one of the most popular language in .NET family. But .NET framework supports not only C# .NET languages like VB.NET, C# .NET, F#.NET, Windows PowerShell, Iron Ruby, and so on. JScript.NET. But in Amor languages, okay, which is by Microsoft .NET framework, one of the most popular language used in real application means C#. It's a powerful language. So our focus is completely on C#. But here, before going to start C# .NET introduction, so first .NET framework main components are need to be understand here. So .NET framework is having some components. Okay, before components, I'm going to explain you code execution process, code execution process in .NET. Code execution process in .NET. Code execution process in .NET like programming language, C.NET. Suppose our main language is C.NET only. So we are going to write some programming part using language only. Like same language like Java or Python or something. It's object-oriented, functional-oriented, procedural-oriented, everything is there. So if you write code or program C#, how the code is going to be executed? What will be the process internal? So that's important code execution process in .NET. See, sir, whenever you write normal programming in any language, C# or Python or anything, the code is nothing but what source code. This means here source code. Now, source code is compiled by what? Language compiler. LC means language compiler. In .NET, especially when we see .NET language code, that is source code, the C# language compiler will compile the source code. After successful compilation, use a type of code called MSIL code, also called SCL, Common Intermediate Language Code. So I'm giving description of clearly. So SC means source code. Okay, S means source code. LC means language compiler. Language compiler. So if you write C#.NET language, so C#.NET language compiler will be there. So what stands for MSIL? MSIL stands for Microsoft Intermediate Language Code. Microsoft Intermediate Language Code. SC means. Okay, it's also called as MSIL means. This also CL, Common Intermediate Language. Common Intermediate Language. This is Common Intermediate Language. So normally when we write .NET language, that code source code in general so compiled by language compiler, and after such compilation, language compiler will produce MSIL code, which is Microsoft related code. So Microsoft Intermediate Language Code, or this code also called as Common Language Code. Okay, so up to here in C# programming language, first compilation is going to be takes place. This is first compilation. Yes, normally when we C#.NET programs, there will be two explained program execution. In the first compilation, MSL code will be produced like CL code. But MSL could be system understandable format or binary format, because finally the output need process operating system. If you make output completely processed operating system understand only what kind of code, native code or binary code or bytes format only. So this finally MSL code transferred to CL, which is main component and entire .NET. CLR stands for Common Language Runtime. This is stands for Common Language Runtime. So CLR is having its own compiler within it. That compiler is called compiler, JIT, just-in compiler. So here JIT stands for JIT. Is another compiler which is present in CLR, language runtime. So finally, MSL can compile it, compiler of CLR, and the CLR will system understand what is called bytecode or native. Okay, native can be transferred to operation for further process. But in the CLR and JIT compilation, this will be considered second compilation of .NET program execution. So this is exactly what execution process in .NET. No matter going to write the programming part in C# or VB.A# or any language of .NET framework family, so this code is going to be executed like this only internally. But only as a programmer, we write code, we going to write code, and we click some single button, let pick up. But behind the scenes, what's going to happen? Every program code is compiler. If you write C# language, source C# is compiled with it. After successful compilation, produce the MSL code is Microsoft language code or common language code. But this code can go to CLR. CLR is main component. CLR is the main component, common language. This will provide runtime and execution environment for our programs. So this MSL could convert into by using CLR JIT compiler Bytecode is completely understand by operating system. So this file is bytecode transferred to OS operating system process and the user. So CLR compilation language, the first compilation. 80 to 90% of the code can be compiled by first compilation only, but rest of code compiled by CLR compilation. That's the reason second is all after the first compilation. Okay, so this code execution process in .NET programming directly compile and run or build and run. These are the main components internal. This is source code. It's in slice compile. MSL for Microsoft Terminal language, is common language. CL is common language time. JMC is common. Here, .NET Framework components are there. As I said, that is a collection of built-in resources. The more we install .NET Framework, the Framework component will be available. Every program should have these components because basic interview questions may come, at least 2 to 3 questions may raise in this case only, which I'm explaining now. .NET Framework components. So .NET Framework components exactly 2 components. One is base class library. Next one is common language runtime. So base class library. Next one is common library. Let me talk about what's a library. Here, this library. This is also called as FCM. That means class libraries. Class libraries. Remember class libraries. Component is CLR. CLR means common language runtime, which plays the main role in .NET program execution, .NET application execution. Common runtime. So these two important components in order. Why? Because as a .NET developer, our process is we write the project and execute program. So writing programming logic purpose, base class required, or framework class required. Base class right in part. After successful writing coding development of application, the next procedure is you have to execute or run that application. For executing purpose, which is other common language time. Until saying class libraries or framework class, you can't even .NET program. After writing programs basically or framework library, without CLR, you can't run the programs. So running is important. That execution of the code is important. Writing is also important. Both are important for us. So that's what .NET framework 2 components are provided as libraries and CLR. So say these basically are just nothing but like header files in C++, packages in Java, like modules in Python. How to use modules concept in Python language, packages Java language, header files concept in C++, but in C# .NET is what? Base library. As I said, the framework is not class libraries. Microsoft offer a lot of built-in classes with pre-defined implementation. Some contribution come from Microsoft only. So minimum contribution you have to give your side. Okay. So using the minimum contribution, software development will be easy actually. Just because it offers a lot of built-in libraries. So using these libraries, we can build a .NET at faster when compared to Java. Now, class libraries are in the form of 2 different ways. First one is .exe file. Next one is DL file. That's the so base class libraries are in the form of 2 ways. One is .exe, next one is DL. So DLL stands for here dynamic link library. DLL stands for dynamic link. .exe means it is an executable file. Yes, executable file. Okay, .exe file will execute direct because it is having an entry point. With the entry point of the program in the sense, main method is the entry point of the program. So this is the main method. So every .exe contains a main method. But when we double click on .exe file is an executable file, we will get output of execution. Which having an endpoint, so main method is make, but its DL is there. Dynamic link library. It is not executable file. Rather than call it as it is a support file. Yes, it is just a supportive file. Supportive file. It don't have any entry point. That means no method. No method. This DLL file contain method is implemented. So whenever you double click on DLL or directly we can on DLL. DLL means dynamic link library. The meaning is during the application running, that is dynamically. Dynamic means at running time. Execution, some required libraries were added application to run successfully. So that it is called supportive file. So what is DLL scenario in .NET, is not actually DLL files. We'll discuss in our coding with the DLL. So DLL files means simple reusability purpose. Once if you embed application logic, for that logic, once you create DLL file, the DLL attached to any application without rewriting the code again. That the DLL attached, so automatically the code we have written that's available over there. No need to create it. If you want to any edit and return, you can also create the DLL file and recompile. So again, DLL will be create. So let me treat supportive files, sir. DLL needs nothing but. So .NET frame components. First component is base class libraries. Use these libraries, we can write .NET logics. Because when we install .NET framework or .NET Core framework, automatically built-in libraries will come. Using the built-in library, we can build .NET applications. Excuse me. Every library contains there is of 2 ways: .exe form and DLL form. Dot is the executable file directly which will run. So it's having an entry point like method. As DLL is nothing but dynamic link library, it is called support file, which do not contain a method, no entry point. That's what it's all supportive files. We will support the applications. Libraries are required. We are adding dynamically. That is DLL file. So I'm including that first component base class libraries, .NET applications by using ready-made resources which is provided by Microsoft. Next procedure is what? After building the application, we have to execute our application. No? We have to run our program. To run our program purpose, we use a component called Common Language Runtime. This is the second component of .NET Core Framework. Common Language Runtime. So this component is almost equal to JVM. How Java people they use JVM architecture, Java Virtual Machine. Same in the .NET platform, we have Common Language Runtime component. It will provide runtime environment or execution environment for .NET application. But look at this. CLR contains subcomponents, actually 4 subcomponents inside the CLR. First subcomponent is LS. It stands for Common Language Specification. Common Language Specification. Next component is the CT, stands for Type System. Next component is GC, Garbage Collector. Next component is JIT, Just-in-Time Compiler, which is associated with the CLR, runtime run. But here, the Common Language Runtime, even every subcomponent will play its role. Yes. So just because of these subcomponents play the role, that reason only CLR can provide runtime and .NET programming languages. So the programming language, for example, your .NET user can choose any language of C#.NET, some other may choose VB.NET, some other developer C#.NET or F#.NET like that. But these are all .NET programming languages. Okay. But when it comes to runtime, so CLR is the component which can able to provide runtime environment. But during the runtime environment, programming language, like different programmers, they can come up with different programming language. So according to the programming language rule, language can other programming language rules and regulations. Okay. But CLR should understand all the programming language syntactical relations. Okay, because .NET rules are different, .NET rules are different, other levels of .NET rules need to be understood in CLR. Then CLR able to provide proper execution environment for .NET programs. So for whenever code comes into CLR subcomponent can be converted all the program into CLR understandable format. So the reason CLR subcomponent is there. What the meaning of CLS means? This component is used to convert all programming in CLR understandable format. Every programming language having its own syntactical rules and regulations. So it comes to runtime. So programming language code not by other language. Like CLR also can understand but different language rules. So in that CLS we take responsibility all the syntactical rules and regulations to CLR format, that is common format. It is called as data type system. So as per programming language rule, every programming language has its own system. Like C Java is having its own data type, like VB is having data. When it comes to running, when it comes to executing, CLR is responsible to convert all the programming data system in CLR data system. CLR is having its own type system, is the CLR data type system. So CLR is language data type only. It cannot understand any other data type. So CLR is a subcomponent which can be able to understand, which can convert all programming data types into CLR data type format. For the purpose, component called common type system, that is data. And is while executing programs,